Welcome into the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. It is a Supernatural News Wednesday. We're going to have some fun today. Boy, do we have stories upon stories upon stories. We got to get into it today. And in order to do so, we need a co-host or a co-hostess. So we went out and got the best in the biz. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the mitten. I know that because I watch a lot of wrestling, and now they got the Motor City Machine Guns now in WWE, and they do this. They do this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we went to the mitten and went and got the best in the biz. Mallie Fox. Hi, Mallie.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm just watching you jab your hand.
Yeah, I know. Look, if I do this enough, I might have somebody throw me a baseball.
Yeah. It's almost like that tapping thing that people do to manifest stuff, but you're doing on your hand rather than your forehead.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, isn't it like the tapping you do like on certain parts of your body, and it's to like, and you like repeat stuff, and it's supposed to manifest.
Really? I need to learn that.
Yeah. So it's all over YouTube. But yeah, so when you're tapping your hand, it looked like you were almost doing that. You should be like, I am manifesting money. Money is coming my way. I deserve money.
Brains.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. Something like that, I guess. Yeah. I got to figure that out now. I got a new hobby, I guess. Now that we're only a couple days away from the chippers going to sleep, I got to come up with hobbies. That means I get to pick up my guitar now.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got to pick up the guitar now that we're coming up on deep fall into winter. I got to find stuff to do, I guess. People say, well, put up the rest of the archive, Tim. I guess I'll do that now, too.
Yeah. I got a ukulele as a gift because I was on one of those weird harebrained ideas on a whim. And so I wanted a ukulele because I wanted to learn Christmas music. And I got one like 10 years ago, never taken it out of its case. I need to start learning because I think it would be fun.
My nephew wanted one a couple years ago for Christmas, and he got one. I don't think he's ever touched it either.
Yeah. I think I just figure I'm old. Can I learn new habits? Can I learn a new trait?
You always can. Yeah. Just, you know what it is pick it up once a week, just once a week.
Yeah.
And you learn a chord or two.
Right.
You'd be surprised after 52 times of picking it up a year.
True. If you look at it that way, and it's good for your brain.
Yep. You'll learn a song. If you do it once a week and 52 times in a year, you'll learn a song. And if you learn one song, and look at it this way. I mean, you know what's funny? Okay, our good friend Scott Grunwald, rest in peace. Been gone for a little while.
Oh yeah, he used to play the ukulele.
Yes, he did. And what's funny is everybody thought, oh gosh, he could play anything. He really only knew, I think, 3 or 4 songs.
Oh,
but
he had all of us fooled.
Right, but he played the same chords over and over and over again. He just sang different things to the same chords, which I always thought was funny, right? He would stand there and he'd play the same, and he'd just kind of strum and he'd play the same chords, but he would sing different things to the same chords, which I thought was hysterical. It was kind of a musician's joke because he would just kind of ding 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 ding, and then he'd sing whatever to it, right? People would go, oh God, he's brilliant because he's singing all this different stuff and he's playing all this different stuff. It wasn't. It was the same melody, but he was singing different things to the same melody. So it was hysterical. I think that was the inside joke, and he knew that was the inside joke.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I got it. I thought it was funny. That was the extra.
Yeah, I never noticed he played the same chords over.
Yeah, he did a lot of time. Yeah.
Funny.
There's a lot of his stuff that's still recorded and on YouTube. If you go and watch it, he did a lot of the same bits. So if you go and watch a lot of his bits, it's a lot of the same stuff.
Didn't he do the naked and paranormal or paranormal and naked or I don't know, something like that?
Yeah. He was the forefather of all that stuff.
Okay.
So like, you have Naked and Afraid out there and all those game shows and stuff. Scotty was the one who went ghost hunting naked before everybody ever decided to do all that stuff.
Because I remember when it was going around that they were trying to create that show, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And then it ended up being him. I never watched it, but he got to hit his little happy place with a ukulele during investigations.
Yeah, I know, right? And see, he did it as a lark, as something funny, and they're doing it as a serious thing on network
right.
TV, which I think is just hysterical. But yeah, no, he was, yeah. I mean, he was just an innovator. He was just one of a kind. Just class. Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, you know what they say. You're never truly gone if they keep your name out there. So
that is very true.
that's right. So
that is very true.
We continue to keep Scott Grunwald's name out there. Absolutely. So, all right. With that, today's show, Mallie, we have, boy, do we have stories galore out there. And just among some of the ones we have out there, the Netherlands is now encouraging their pilots to report UFO encounters. They found a mystery implant in those cake mummies over.
Oh.
Something interesting to keep track of. Scientists believe they've discovered potential hiding places for alien life on Mars, among other things. In our Nightmare Fuel segment today, there's a new death clock. According to AI, they can tell you now when you're going to die, according to AI. Another
Oh, boy.
one, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. A psychic looking for a man's missing daughter found human remains. We'll talk about that in today's program. A political candidate wants to make Bigfoot the state animal of Ohio.
Huh.
Got a little political news to talk about today in today's program. And we'll wrap it up by telling you why bears aren't the best animal to invite over to your Halloween party. That's all.
I think that would be a given.
Well, but that will wrap up today's supernatural news. And by the way,
cool.
we could use your Parashare stories. By doing that, just send it into tim@darknessradio.com, your emailed story. There's one other thing today too. I did get an email from some good friends of ours who normally decorate their house for Halloween. I will show you the second half of our program a snapshot of what they've done with their house. It is absolutely creepy, Mallie.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how you can vote for their house for best house on the block. And I'm encouraging all of our listeners to do so. It will creep you out. It is unlike any other house you've ever seen.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
It is the stuff of my nightmares.
Ooh.
Yep. And I'm encouraging everyone to do that. It'll come up in our Nightmare Fuel segment.
Okay.
But yeah, it's but yeah, please, everybody. And I'll put a link up in the description of this program so you can actually go and vote for them, because I'm telling you, this house is amazing. Again, I want to see your guys' Halloween decorations. If you've been decorating the house for Halloween and you've done it up, please send it in. You know what? I'll even start a blog on the darknessradioshow.com website if you want to display your decorations for Halloween. I'll put up our friends as well. So I'll get the blog started that way. So I'll put up the pictures so you can see it, darknessradioshow.com on today's show. So there you go. All right, let's get this party started, shall we, Mal? I got to remind people as well, before we get things started, Jessica Freeberg and Ghost Stories, Inc. has been so kind as to start a contest. Oh, by the way, one more story that we're going to talk about today. Big White Things, the Haintin Holler Cryptid in Kentucky. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we're going to talk about that today as well. Okay. Okay, so big giveaway for Halloween. Jessica Freeberg and Ghost Stories, Inc. is giving you a treat for trick-or-treating. Here's the deal. You can win 2 tickets for the November 14th through November 17th Ghost Stories, Inc. trip to the Palmer House. By the way, you have to buy the hotel room. They don't furnish a hotel room, but you do get 2 free tickets to the event. Here's how you win those tickets. So you and a friend, okay? You have to send an email to jessica@jessicafreeberg.com with your name, your phone number, your address, and the phrase that pays, which is, I want to go ghost hunting with Jess and Tim. Okay?
Easy.
That's easy enough. Right. I don't want your emails. If you send them to me, you're not going to win.
Right.
Send an email back that says, right across it.
And flashing red. Denied.
That's right. Denied. You're not going to get through to me.
Right.
Send it to Jessica. Jessica@jessicafreeberg.com. paranormalgirl.com. Now, if you're confused as to how this all works, there's a reminder in the link. There's a reminder, I'm sorry, in the description of this show as to how to enter. So just look in the description of this show. It'll remind you on how to enter this contest. Okay. You have 1 week to do so. Sunday, November 3rd at midnight is the cutoff date to win the 2 tickets to the event, November 14th through the 17th. It is a special event. It's a theme event, 1920s event. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So that's what we're doing. So you have till Sunday, November 3rd at midnight to enter 2 free tickets to the ghost hunting event, Ghost Stories Inc. and Jessica Freeberg up at the Palmer House Hotel. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. There's going to be not only ghost hunting, but there's going to be some cool art projects to do up there. The way that Ghost Stories Inc. does these ghost hunts, Jess, they're amazing. They're really cool. So, and I'm going to be up there. Jess is going to be up there. We're going to have a good time. So you want to join us for this event? You and a friend can go for free. You do have to pay for your hotel room. But there's 1 hotel room left. That's the thing. You're getting in.
Oh, gotcha.
You're getting in on this, and you're going to be the last people in on this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jessica at jessicafreeberg.com. Name, address, phone number, and the phrase that pays. I want to go ghost hunting with Jess and Tim. There you go. Okay. With that, we can get started. Oh, let's see here. Oh, yeah. Alien news. Start off with aliens. There's been a cluster of UFOs filmed near the U.S. Air Force Base in Indiana. They keep showing up now near Air Force bases.
Well, that just makes me think it's something government.
You think so? You think it's just a government?
Yeah, if it's just always around Air Force bases.
That might be. Might be. Footage posted up on TikTok shows at least half a dozen colorful orb-shaped objects flying in formation. Now, you may be right here, Mallie.
Mm-hmm.
There was something strange in the skies near Kokomo, Indiana. Now I want to sing something from...
I know I'm going to have that song in my head this whole entire time.
Let's all get it out right now. Okay. There's something strange in the skies near Kokomo, Indiana on October 7th, prompting concerns of a possible aerial incursion over the nearby Grissom Joint Air Reserve Base. Puzzled residents of the town grabbed their iPhones and cameras and started filming as several brightly lit, unidentified objects appeared in the night sky. What is that? Asked one user. I think those are UFOs, and I really don't feel comfortable going to sleep tonight. The mystery deepened further still when reports emerged of a huge rectangle with a clearly defined vapor shock wave that had been picked up on Doppler weather radar at around the same time. So what exactly was going on? While some believe that the phenomena was evidence of alien visitors, skeptics argue that lights in the sky were flares that had been deployed as part of some sort of military exercise. But what about the large rectangular object? Without further data, it's difficult to say for sure what it could have been. There's actually some, you know what? There's a little bit of a video right here. Al, if you could, you see that little triangular cluster in the sky?
Yeah.
What does it look like to you?
Well, it's 3 lights, then it goes down to 2, then it goes down to 1, now it's 2 again. Yeah, I would just think it has something to do with the base.
I think it's just something related to the base.
Okay. Yeah. I think if it was like zooming around and weird, like, I don't know. I think if it was moving around more and doing weird formations and stuff, maybe I would consider it something else, but it's just kind of like just right there.
Okay.
Not really moving around.
Okay. We'll post it in the description of this program. You can take a look at the video for yourself and tell us what you think. We'll do.
I feel like I'm a fuddy-duddy. I'm like, oh, it's the Air Force Base.
No. You know what? Don't feel that way. It's okay to remain skeptical, and it's okay to be skeptical about it, because when it comes to Air Force bases too, I tend to be a little skeptical myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. No. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Our next story, Mallie, has to do with those cake aliens, as we call them. I caught a little bit of grief from a listener. I think it was on YouTube, who said, "Oh, come on, Tim, you're starting to sound like the old host." When I had him on the program,
Uh-huh.
we were talking about the alien mummies in Peru. Well, I let a certain guest on to talk about these aliens, and I let him present his point of view. But that's what I did. I let guests present their point of view, and I let you
Right.
decide what they have to present. I don't ever jump on them and go, "Oh, that's a bunch of bullshit." Right?
Right.
I would never do that to a guest, because again, the key word to guest is they're a guest on your program.
Uh-huh.
They're here to present their point of view, right?
Well, it'd be boring if we all thought the same thing.
Yeah, right, right. So, and I thought his take was very interesting. I don't know what they are. I've never been there to poke the cake mummy and taste the frosting. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. Right. So,
Mhm.
so it was interesting, right? It was interesting what he had to say. Well, it turns out now there's a new story having to do with these alien mummies in Peru. They claim, or researchers now have claimed, that they made the unexpected discovery of this mystery implant while conducting an examination of the controversial remains. Uh, Jamie or Jaime Maussan's alien mummies are back in the news again this week, this time after an alleged metallic implant of some kind was found wedged inside a mummified hand found at the excavation site. The mystery began when Maussan, a controversial figure even in the UFO community, presented what he claimed to be two alien bodies at a formal Congress hearing in Mexico City back in 2023. Supposedly found buried between the Peruvian cities of Palpa and Nazca in 2017, the two bodies reportedly contained unknown DNA and were, as Masson put it, not from this earth. His claims went on to generate a great deal of controversy and debate, with experts slamming his discovery on the basis that the aliens were thought to be a little bit more than human, or were thought to be little more than human mummies. Since then, several other claims have been made, ranging from the finding of additional mummies to a fingerprint analysis suggesting that these entities might not actually be human after all. Now, during a forensic dissection of a mummified hand found at the same site as the other remains, experts have discovered a strange metallic implant embedded in the palm. It is a very complex metal alloy that requires special knowledge and techniques to be able to achieve it with such quality and purity, said Navy forensic doctor, Dr. Jose Zalsa Benitez. It was possible to identify elements such as aluminum, tin, silver, copper, cadmium, and osmium, among others, in smaller quantities and percentages. So, could this piece of strange metal be a genuine implant, or was it placed inside the hand after death, perhaps as part of some sort of ritualistic practice? And in any case, does this really add credence to the idea that these remains are extraterrestrial? The search for answers, it says, continues.
Hmm.
So here's a picture of the hand, Mallie, and where exactly they pulled that implant from.
Oh, okay.
Looks a little creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, why? My question is, why would you implant a piece of metal after death?
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand. I guess I can understand why you would put one in before death. There's different reasons to put one in before death. But after death, there's really not a reason to implant metal, wouldn't you think?
No.
I can't think of a reason.
Me neither.
Yeah. Interesting story. All right, we move on. The Netherlands is now encouraging pilots to report UFO encounters. The Dutch Safety Board has signaled that it will be accepting reports of UAPs by aviation professionals. Given the increasing amount of attention the UFO phenomenon has been receiving in the US in recent years, it's perhaps no surprise that authorities in countries outside the United States would also begin to take the topic more seriously as well, especially in regards to any risks that such subjects might pose to aircraft within their airspace. Earlier this month, as an example, the Dutch Safety Board made a move to suggest that it would now be accepting reports for unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, by aviation professionals. The board, which runs independently of the Dutch government, is responsible for investigating any serious accidents that occur in the Netherlands, whether that be on the ground or in the air. As such, reports of encounters with unknown aerial vehicles is of legitimate concern. The news that the board would be taking the subject more seriously came from its correspondence with UFO group UAP Coalition Netherlands. The quote here is, as a coalition, we are pleased to report that OVV, the Dutch Safety Board, has indicated that it wants to receive reports of UAP from Dutch aviation professionals, the coalition wrote. Airspace can be endangered by experiences with UAP, so it's positive that an independent administrative body wants to gain more insight into this and take reports seriously. We see this as recognition and an important step towards achieving our goal. Well, interesting. That's for sure that the Netherlands wants to keep up on that sort of thing.
Meanwhile, what if it's a cover for like national security? Like they're not really looking for UFOs. They're looking for people to report like spies.
That's a good idea. You know
what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the cover. The UFO thing is a cover.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't put it past them. There's many different reasons why you would announce a program like that and not have it be truly a program for UAP. Or it's a secondary air defense having to do with defending borders, right?
Right.
If you want to remain a neutral country and you're worried about an invasion, whether it be from the east or the west, whether you're worried about, well, let's face it, whether you're worried about Russia moving in further into Europe, and you have some concerns, but you don't want to put it out there, right? Like you don't want to sound the alarm too quickly and say, we're worried that Russia is moving further and further in, and we want to make sure that we're safe. So we're going to establish a heavy border. You don't want to tip off the Russians that you're arming, especially if you're a somewhat neutral country. So that's a good way of doing it. You're right, Mel. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good way of doing it. Yeah. Good call. Good call. Something
Thank you.
Yeah, something I didn't think of. Our next story has to do with astronomers scouring something called TRAPPIST-1 and that system for alien signals. The latest search for evidence of alien life is focused on looking for alien worlds that are sending messages to one another. If an advanced extraterrestrial civilization has spread to multiple planets, it stands to reason that they must be able to send signals back and forth between worlds. If the Earth happens to be in the firing line, therefore, it should be possible for us to pick up those communications. That is, at least, according to astronomers from Penn State and the SETI Institute, who recently spent 28 hours scanning the TRAPPIST-1 star system for evidence of extraterrestrial signals. TRAPPIST-1 is of particular interest to astronomers because it is thought to be home to 7 terrestrial worlds, several of which being located in this star's habitable zone, where the temperature is sufficient for liquid water to exist on a planet's surface. Ultimately, though, despite a record-breaking attempt to detect signals using the Allen Telescope Array, or ATA, the teams were unable to pick up any of these signs of extraterrestrial activity. Their efforts certainly didn't go to waste, however. This research shows that we are getting closer to technology and methods that could detect radio signals similar to the ones that we send into space, said Penn State graduate student Nick Toussay. Most searches assume a powerful signal, like a beacon intended to reach distant planets, because our receivers have a sensitivity limit due to a minimum transmitter power beyond anything we intentionally send out. But with better equipment like the upcoming Square Kilometer Array, we might soon be able to detect signals from an alien civilization communicating with its spacecraft. So they basically got like a 250 watt transmitter sitting in the bottom of the student radio station that they're using. That's what it sounds like. You got like the old 250 watt transmitter from back in the 1970s they're using. Yeah. That's what I come away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of funding, lack of funds, as our good friend Dave LaGreca would say. They got the old Italian disease, lack of funds.
I've never heard that before.
You never heard that? No. It's one of the
Lackafunza.
Lackafunza. It's one of my favorite bits that Dave LaGreca does. Lackafunza.
Do colleges even still have radio stations?
Most of them do. A lot of them are automated though, which is really disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I used to work in at college at Winona State, they do have some live DJs, but they're automated a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which what's the point of having
exactly
right when you're automated? But
mm-hmm.
I suppose because it's there if any student wants to take advantage of it and go on and do live broadcasting. But
mm-hmm.
The other thing that student radio stations have done now is they simulcast on the internet so that you can you can be heard outside of your borders of your town,
mm-hmm.
which is great for exposure. It gives a little bit more of an audience to students who are trying to learn and gets them feedback from outside of a limited area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's great. But there are student radio stations. They are out there. It's just that they operate at such low power.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know really what the audience is for them
mm-hmm.
in this day and time.
Right.
In smaller towns, they do get an audience.
Mm-hmm.
But in larger towns, they're almost non-existent.
Well, and back in our day, we didn't have Sirius XM or any of those. So you had just your AM and FM.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember coming across a college. I forget which college it was though, but it was college radio, and I liked it because it was kind of like new wave music that they played.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the great thing about student radios or student run radio stations too, is experiment with formats. And, it may not be technically the best radio out there, but they do take chances, which commercial radio doesn't do.
Right.
So that's what makes it exciting. It's thrilling radio because it's out there on the edge. So yeah, it's worth giving a listen to, and it's worth. Although a lot of stations don't take direct donations. They do operate off what's called an Ampers grant, which is it's a direct form of funding. And so to, support them in any way you can, in any way they need when it comes fundraising time. Just get behind them because it's tough. It's tough for them to survive on the budgets they have to survive on.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty rare to come across them these days, but yeah, student run radio. I'm all about it. So yeah, that's for sure.
Is that how you got your ladies back in the day? You're the man on campus.
The size of my microphone was important at that time. Yeah. And I learned a valuable lesson. Never.
You have a big grin on your face right now. Flashbacks.
Valuable lesson I learned is never date on the other side of that telephone. Never know who's on the other side of that telephone.
Yeah.
They say, "Hey, let's meet in person." That's a big mistake.
Their voice was deceiving.
Oh yeah. Yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. You learn lessons quick, Mallie, in this business.
Yeah.
Not internet dating was scary. Try radio dating. That's boy, oh boy.
Just close your eyes and have her talk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's more satisfying. Yeah. That's for sure. How do we get on this? I was going to mention Dave LaGreca. Dave LaGreca, for those of you who are wrestling fans, was on the WWE NXT pay-per-view on Sunday night, Halloween Havoc. Yeah. So I just wanted to say congratulations to our buddy Dave LaGreca for
very cool.
So speaking of Sirius XM, he's the founder and host of Busted Open Radio. So, but yeah, he was hosting along with Bubba Ray Dudley the Halloween Havoc pay-per-view. So I thought that was awesome. So I just to see Dave doing his thing. So he's, by leaps and bounds, he's been forming a relationship with WWE, and I think that's really, really cool. I can say I knew Dave when. So, yeah. So it was cool to be sitting there watching Halloween Havoc and seeing Dave LaGreca on Busted Open. Not on Busted, but on Halloween Havoc. So yeah. Anyways, so we'll jump back into stories. Okay. Our next story has to do with scientists discovering potential hiding places for alien life on Mars. Not just in the universe, but on Mars itself. The study identifies key locations where extraterrestrial life might be most likely to thrive. Scientists suggest that Mars's mid-latitudes beneath layers of dust-filled ice may harbor the right conditions for photosynthesis, process by which plants, algae, and cyanobacteria on Earth convert light and water into energy, producing oxygen. The researchers, whose findings were published in Nature Communications, Earth and Environment, believe that these essential components for life also could be present beneath Mars's icy surface. And now my iPad won't move. I think that's enough of that story. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now that I say that's enough, it wants to move. Both Earth and Mars lie within the sun's habitable zone, a region where temperatures allow liquid water to exist on planetary surfaces. While Earth is covered in 71% liquid water, Mars is a dry, barren landscape. However, evidence from rovers and orbiters suggests that Mars once had liquid water billions of years ago. Today, water on Mars exists primarily as ice, not just at the poles, but also in mid-latitude regions. Mars likely lost its liquid water when its magnetic field weakened, causing most of its atmosphere to escape and exposing the planet to harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Despite this, scientists propose that photosynthesis could still occur beneath the protective ice layers in the mid-latitudes. Well, interesting. So there's potential for alien life there on Mars. There you go. All right. That is where we take our break right there. When we come back, Mallie. Got a little nightmare fuel for you.
Okay, doke.
Almost always do.
I know. I don't think we've ever gone without.
Nope, haven't gone without. Also, when we come back, an interesting story about a member of the Stranger Things cast who's had a paranormal encounter on a movie set. We'll talk about that. We're going to ask the question, why do ghosts wear clothes or sheets instead of appearing in the nude?
Just one. I like how you say in sheets.
I know, right? Well, that's the headline in the story.
I bet you there are some that appear nude.
You think?
We just haven't been lucky to see them. Yeah, I think if someone died naked, like while having sex or something, maybe they would come back naked.
Porn star ghosts.
Well, that lady from The Shining was naked in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah, but she was
that creepy lady.
She was a demon, though, wasn't she?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, she was naked.
She was a trickster.
Yep.
A psychic looking for a man's missing daughter finds human remains. We'll talk about that story when we come back. An interesting story in that there's a couple of Bigfoot stories today. A political candidate wants to make Bigfoot the state animal of Idaho. And a story sent in by a listener, Bigfoot was spotted in an Oklahoma wildfoot refuge in a 10-second TikTok video, with someone calling it the scariest moment in my life. We'll get to that. That line of Bigfoot. Big white fangs, the Haintin Holler Cryptid in Kentucky. It might be a cryptid that Mallie's never heard of. We'll talk about that as well. And what exactly that cryptid is. It's an interesting one, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I actually
know what part of Kentucky.
I actually peeked into that article.
Ah.
And we end today's show by telling you why bears are not going to be your favorite Halloween guest this Halloween. I tend to think some bears are kind of cute this night. Maybe they show up and just drink punch and leave. You never know, Mel. Could happen. All right, that's what's up in the second half of Supernatural News. Again, we could use your Parashare stories. You can send them in one of three ways. Tim@darknessradio.com if you type them out the old-fashioned way. Otherwise, if you care to do so, you can go to darknessradioshow.com. You have 2 minutes to leave a voice note. If you click that blue button that's on the right-hand side of the website, just click it. You've got 2 minutes to leave your voice note. If you need more time, click that blue button again. Leave another 2 minutes for your story. I'll stitch everything together and I'll play it here on the show. The third way is if you have a studio just like the one you see right here behind me. I mean, not my studio. Don't come into my house and start recording. I'll hit you with my baseball bat. Just saying. You'll scare me in the middle of the night. But if you have a studio similar to this one, you can sit down, you can lay down some tracks, your voice tracks, maybe some music, some sound effects, put together your own theater of the mind, send it in right here to Darkness Radio. I'll review it. And by gosh, if it passes the muster, I'll put it on right here on this show. You will air your theater of the mind right here on Darkness Radio. Tell you what, when we come back, we got plenty of your stories and we have an impressive haunted house to show you.
Ooh,
and you can vote
for that.
Yeah, and you can vote for it, Mallie. So it will win a prize. We'll tell you how you can do that when we come back right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Along with me is Mallie Fox. It is a Supernatural News Wednesday. And Mallie, it's been unseasonably warm this Halloween.
Yes, it has.
I'm telling you, it's been great weather. Unfortunately, we might dip a little bit here in the Twin Cities. You're probably going to have a warm Halloween there in Michigan, I'm guessing, right?
We're supposed to have a little rain during the day, but then it's supposed to be fine. So in my town, they don't have school the next day on Friday, so that might help with the trick-or-treaters.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing that here or not. I saw a weird thing today, sitting out on the porch. There were kids out hitting a volleyball until like 9 a.m. So I don't know what they're doing this week with school.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think they jumped on a bus at 9. But they were older.
Okay.
Are they changing like school hours or something?
I didn't think so.
I don't know. It was very weird. It was weird. Yeah. I'm getting to the age now where I don't know what they're doing with school. Like, shouldn't your kids be in school or have a job? Set my chipmunk after you.
You're one of those crotchety people on Facebook that's like complaining about stuff that garbage people left my can out in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
There's my tax dollars.
Yeah, my tax dollars. You know, I pay them independently. They came by today too. I'm the old guy who waves at them. I'm like, hi, I'm Mr. Garbage Man. Hi.
The little girls next door, they do that to the garbage, the mail lady. We have a very nice mail person. She has all the gossip in town. So we'll sit there and talk to her for like 10 minutes. She brings dog treats for my dogs and everything. She has the lowdown. She helps people sell their houses because she'll tell people, oh yeah, on this street, they just put their house up for sale. So if you know anybody.
I keep a box of milk bones too, though. So we have a lot of dogs in the neighborhood. So yeah, we got Bo, who's just kitty corner from us. We got got another big dog. I don't remember what the big dog is who's right across the street from us, but yeah, we got a lot of big dogs out. So yeah, but Bo I think is our favorite. He's a big German Shepherd. So yeah. We have little dog treats. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's very sweet of you.
So when they come by, if they're nice doggies, we give them a milk bone. So, yeah. I'm guilty of that. Is that an old man thing to give up milk bones?
No, old man things to talk about is chipmunks.
Hey, yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
I'm just teasing.
See, it all just makes me so happy, Mel, and
I know they do. They make you very happy. Now, if you start knitting clothes for them, though, and next year I see your Christmas card and they're wearing sweaters.
No. Although I am guilty of looking in the Hemmerschlepper or whatever catalog.
Oh, yep. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, for toys and clothes for him. Yeah, but yeah, is that going too far?
No. Yeah. Hey, I follow videos that raccoons are wearing clothes and they've become domesticated. And this one guy has a meerkat. I think they're called meerkats.
Yeah.
And so like it'll stand on his shoulder while he drives and they wear like glasses and a headscarf and stuff and they do it to this song. But yeah, that one is spoiled.
I seriously, because Spud is getting on. She's getting a little older. I started thinking about maybe I should bring her in the house winter. And I thought, I could see problems.
Yeah.
Because with my luck, they don't fully sleep during the winter. They go into what's called torpor. So they wake up, they wake up, they eat, they go back to sleep. They wake up, they go to the bathroom, they go to sleep. It's kind of like us in the winter, but except for they don't have jobs. So that's
right.
But they just go into like an extended sleep. But I could see her waking up and then just start chirping her head off because she does that a lot. She did it today, right? Just like wake up and forget that she came inside, right? She just cheep, because I do have. Did I tell you I have a bed for her?
No, you did not.
I didn't. Should I show you a picture of the?
Sure.
Beds I did buy her a bunk bed.
Oh, a bunk bed.
Yeah, I bought bunk beds for him because she looked like she was getting tired out there on the lawn. She'll sit out there on the lawn all day, and she was getting to the point where she was looking like she was like her head was getting a little droopy. So it was kind of like, her head's getting a little.
Is it from like the Barbie collection, or do they make specific beds for animals?
No, if you go to Target, they make those 18-inch dolls that look like American Girl dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's part of their collection.
Oh, okay. So it is from Dog.
and the mattress was so soft, Mal. I mean, it was like a little soft.
Just tell people that you're buying it for your niece.
Maybe I did. I just said I was a really good uncle. Tell him I'm buying it for my chipmunks. I didn't want them to report me to the police. But I showed Jess, but look at this. It's every little chipmunk's dream, right?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That is cute.
Look at that.
That's cute.
Yeah. See? And I built it myself. It's got little butterfly foot pillows, and it's got little head pillows for him to rest, and it's got a little blankie.
Do you just keep it in the garage, or where do you keep it?
Well, I bring it out each day for him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's out on the porch.
Does she actually sit in it or lay in it?
If I put a peanut in there, they will.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, so they'll go eat a peanut in there. And then they kind of sit in it and they're like, "What is this thing we're sitting in?" And they get out.
Gotcha.
They haven't quite realized it's a blanket. I tried to, because there are videos on YouTube where you'll see a little chipmunk laying in a bed and actually taking a nap on a pillow. And I'm trying to train them to sleep in the bed.
Okay.
Because I have no fucking life. So yeah, that's gonna be my next deal.
That and learn and teach yourself guitar.
Teach myself guitar. Well, I know a little guitar. I know.
Well, you play the guitar while the chipmunks,
Yes,
sleep.
I'm going to sing them a song.
Yes, lullabies.
Yeah, it'd be like, renegade, you had it made. Go to fucking sleep. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what was I saying? Oh, such a happy scenario. Anyways.
Hey, if it makes you happy and it brightens up your day, I'm all for it.
Not according to AI. Evidently, bunk beds are too happy for him. little chipmunk bunk beds. I think it's time to go see a psychiatrist. What do you think?
Hey, I've got a dollhouse if you want it.
That's actually what their nut hut is made of. We have a little nut hut for them. That keeps them protected from birds. It's made out of giant. It used to be a horse barn.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's got a second deck that they absolutely love that they go up on. I'll just take a picture of that and show it to you next time. It's called Chips Nut Hut. Everybody how's in their eyes. Just get to the story. Get to the story. Researchers say they are close to successfully crafting synthetic life forms, Mallie. Synthetic life forms.
Just wrong. It's so wrong.
Pretty soon I'll have a synthetic chipmunk I can keep in the house. Although Dr. Frankenstein created new forms of life in grisly experiments that relied on combining spare parts, Dutch researchers, they love gold, say they are now attempting to build synthetic life forms from the ground up and potentially more efficiently than nature. As life evolved on Earth, each step forward was built in the last, leading to increasingly complex but sometimes inefficient systems. Now, I believe it is BASYC, BASYC, building a synthetic cell. It is a consortium of 6 research institutes working on perfecting the natural processes that give rise to life. In a pair of new papers, their research represents significant new steps in advancement towards that goal. Since 2017, BASYC has been working on creating a synthetic cell, the basic building block of life. A gravity grant from the Dutch Ministry of Education, Culture and Science, along with the Netherlands Organization for Scientific Research, or the NWO, ooh, sweet, provided 18.8, I think this is million pounds in funding to begin operations. Progress has been steady with an estimated 2 to 3 years left in the program. The end game of the program is to construct synthetic life-like systems that can grow autonomously, divide, and sustain themselves. It will differ from known living cells, but have these essential features. University of Groningen professor of biochemistry and team leader, Dr. Bert Poolman, told the Debrief in an email. Now, within living cells, mitochondria generate the energy that they require to function, and in nature, hundreds of different elements make up that cellular powerhouse. The BASYC team is now streamlining nature's design, reducing it to just 5 elements across a 2-part artificial system. The advantage is rooted in knowing where the system design is headed, allowing the researchers to develop fine-tuned solutions at the most basic level, unlike evolution, which only builds on what came before, unable to turn back the clock and reconsider earlier choices. Existing mitochondria work through a cycle of converting the molecule ADP to ATP, then back, releasing the energy cells run on. This system is housed in tiny cell-like sacs known as vesicles. The first vesicle in the loop absorbs ADP and amino acid arginine through the sac walls before burning the arginine to produce ATP. Spending the cell is an entirely different problem. During this process, another vesicle absorbs the ATP and reverts it back to ADP, releasing the energy needed to power work. like the growth and cell division. The process completes when the second vesicle sends the ADP back into the first, resuming the cycle. The downside is reducing the many elements of mitochondria to 5 is that the system can only run on arginine and not the fats, sugars, or even other amino acids that can power animal cells. Well, that could be a small problem. Pullman's other creation is a vesicle for creating a negative electrical charge like an electric circuit. It uses a chemical process where positively charged proteins enter the vesicle, pushing other molecules like lactose towards the negative center. This process mimics the behavior of living cells. Additionally, further testing showed the vesicle capable of more complex feats, adding enzymes in addition to lactose. The system oxidized the lactose sugar and created the coenzyme NADH. Dr. Poole explained some of the challenges his team faced during development. The greatest obstacles are generally integrating modules, not nodules, but modules, and creating out of equilibrium conditions. Thus, the optimal conditions are not necessarily the same for different modules. In biology, this is solved by evolution, and here we engineer minimal systems that work best for multiple modules. So, you may ask yourself, where does this all go? Well, Pullman and Basic have made significant progress. More must be done before total synthetic cells are reality. After the Basic program concludes in the next few years, its replacement is already lined up. NWO has extended another 40 million pounds research grant to the follow-up program, Evolving Life from Non-Life is what it stands for. And plenty of work remains to be completed in this innovative field of research. Quote here is, we are still more than 10 years away from such a synthetic lifelike system, Dr. Pullman went on to say. Meanwhile, we learn a lot of biological mechanisms and discover surprising properties that emerge when bringing biological components together. 10 years, Mallie, from a biological construct.
I just don't like this stuff. I just don't see. I see being positive. I see what everything goes wrong. I'm on the negative side of it.
I think it's intriguing the way that it doesn't necessarily run the way we run. I mean, the cells itself aren't fueled the way that we're fueled. So is that necessarily a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years.
Ah.
And do we, much like Frankenstein, do we take after this thing, right? Is it Pitchfork and Torch City, right? When this thing comes out, or do we
embrace it?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I think I watched too many movies where something like this gets in the wrong hands and then just goes nuts, like a muck. Just,
Yeah. Oh man, it's there's times I have a hard time wrapping my head around it because the science is so complex, but at the same time, I think to myself, we've come through such advances so quickly that, we don't have to understand half of it to see it work.
Right.
After a while, it just becomes second nature and you go, oh yeah, it's just an artificial construct, and we use it as easily as we use a kitchen utensil. And then we find ways to put it to work. And I worry that we put these things into use in daily life so quickly. Look at driverless cars and how quickly we put them out on the road. Just that alone, and without too many safety precautions. And it just ends up sometimes in more injuries and more death. It's stuff, I tell you. Speaking of death, Mallie.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's a new death clock out there, an AI longevity app that claims that it can predict when you'll die.
Oh, there's a movie like that. I forget what it's called, though, but they had like a death clock.
Yes. A new AI longevity app called the Death Clock predicts that the Grim Reaper will appear on, well, the person who wrote this article, on their doorstep on January 30th, 2077, shortly after their 92nd birthday.
Well, if I had that date, I'd be fine. Right. And I'd be like 92. I'm good.
Yeah, I'd be living it up right now. I'd have
exactly.
drink in one hand, a cigar in the other, and a joint between my lips.
Yeah. If I had tomorrow, I'd be a basket case.
Yeah. The author says with the average life expectancy for women between being 80.2 years, I'm not doing so badly. Oh, no, they're not. The rest of us are sweating now. Founded by serial entrepreneur Brent Franson, Death Clock aims to extend and enhance users' quality of life by providing deep insights to how their lifestyle influences their life expectancy. Trained on 1,217 studies with over 53 million participants as data sets, the app uses AI technology to create predictions on an individual's approximate date of death, along with overall life expectancy, biological age, and health scores compared to their peers. The app also offers projections on how long people might live after incorporating lifestyle changes. In a statement following the app's release, Dr. Sanjeev Goel, founder of Peak Human and one of Canada's top longevity doctors, said longevity is primarily influenced by factors of a healthy lifestyle, such as diet, exercise, stress levels, and sleep. Longevity is usually further defined by lifespan versus health span. Individuals need to be proactive, such as the interventions to increase longevity require many years of proactive lifestyle choices, Goel added. Lifestyle at this moment is the only proven method to influence longevity. Longevity is a complex process and requires an intervention that would have an effect in multiple processes in the body. When users sign into Death Clock, the app asks them a series of questions. It then creates a custom longevity program or plan recommending behavior changes, dietary supplements, screenings, and pertinent discussions with their healthcare provider. The platform enables users to securely upload personal health documents such as blood tests and genetic profiles, ensuring a personalized AI health companion for each individual. In today's world, healthcare is typically reactive, intervening only when problems arrive and often too late, said Brent Franson, founder of Death Clock. In a statement, Death Clock represents the shift to Medicine 3.0, where individuals are equipped with comprehensive knowledge about their health and encouraged to proactively manage their wellness to enjoy longer, healthier lives. By the way, Death Clock or the Death Clock can be downloaded from the Apple App Store and Google Play stores for a small annual fee of $39.99.
No, I don't need to pay for how long I'm going to live. I mean, what is the shelf life of like nacho cheese? Because that's basically what my whole body's made of right now. So I've been eating a lot of nachos. So if nacho cheese can survive like the atomic bomb, I will live forever.
Do you throw any Nutella in with that?
I have not had Nutella for a while.
Speaking of, did I tell you I have a recipe to send to you?
No.
Oh, I've got 3 words.
Is it Nutella?
Nutella pound cake. It may change your life.
That sounds good. Why have you had it? Did you try it out?
I've seen the recipe.
Oh, okay.
I think I need to send it to you to make just to tell me whether it's good or not.
Yeah, no, I'm all out of Nutella, so that's why I haven't had it for a while.
You're not on?
No, I'm out of it.
Oh.
So I usually have like 3 or 4 jars in my cupboard, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't stocked up and I went through the last of it because my kids like Nutella.
Gonna have to get some to you.
I know, because I made Nutella, like a French toast thing for all my neighbors, and then I used up the last Nutella, and then I haven't done anything since. It's like a Nutella casserole, so freaking good.
Nutella casserole?
Yeah, it's like a French toast, like with Nutella and powdered sugar and stuff. Yeah, it's delicious. So I make it every once in a while, and I made some for the neighbors because I have an old lady next to me, and so I make her some.
Nutella casserole. I would have.
Yeah, it's just like French toast. I think I talked about it before, but you like soak your bread in like the egg mixture, the egg and cinnamon.
Yeah.
And then but before you do that, you spread Nutella on the bread and then you roll it up and then you dip it in the egg mixture and then you fill up your casserole dish and then you bake it and then you sprinkle powdered sugar. So it's like I think it's called Nutella French toast casserole or something. But I make it every once in a while. The kids really like it. Oh, and then you put whipped cream on it. So it's almost like a dessert.
You don't ice the dessert with the leftover Nutella, do you? And then put.
Oh yeah, you kind of do that, like what do you call
it? You drizzle it.
Not streusel. Yeah, you drizzle. So like you take your fork and just go. So yeah.
Oh.
It's so good. But my dad doesn't like it because he doesn't like egg stuff. What? So it throws him off. Yeah, he doesn't eat French toast. He doesn't eat eggs. So any kind of casserole, egg casserole, he doesn't do. So he doesn't like it. I'm like, this is like the best freaking thing ever.
Seriously?
Yeah. He's set in his ways. He's the only child.
I guess. Mr. Fox, you need to get on this.
I know he hates it when I tell him.
This sounds
it's your only child syndrome.
I tell you what, you could drop this in the middle of hungry countries and you could save the hunger problem forever.
Exactly. Yeah. Saving people one jar at a time.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. It's my slogan.
I love it.
One jar at a time.
That's right. You just drop a Nutella casserole in the middle of a country. Make the world's largest Nutella casserole according to Guinness Book of World Records. You could feed an entire country, you'd be done.
There we go. Keep the farmers busy with all my eggs I need. Except for the price of eggs nowadays. Jeez Louise.
It's still high.
Eggs and butter. Good God.
Wow. Now I need dessert. Oh, you know what would be awesome? You ever listen to us? We're talking about food now.
I know we always get off track, especially about food.
Right. Hey, now you've seen the angel food flips in the bakery section, right?
Angel food flips?
Yeah. Have you ever seen an angel food flip, like a banana flip?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's generally they've got like buttercream frosting in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Put Nutella in the middle of that. Angel food flip with Nutella in the middle.
Mm-hmm. That would be good.
Oh my!
I have saved so many Nutella recipes. I just have to start doing them again. I've just been so life gets in the way,
I know.
With kids and stuff. But like you said, fall is here, but winter's coming where I don't have all these outdoor activities and the kids are kind of quieting down with their stuff for a little bit. So maybe I'll start baking again.
Plus, they make locks on closets. You just throw them in the closet and you do.
My kids need to stop being athletic and social. Yeah. I'm just a taxi driver lately.
What you do is you drop them off at one of those malls. Is that what they call it? Then you just lost. Then you go do what you need to do, right? That's
do people even go to the malls anymore?
No, I think
I miss those days.
I think they're all abandoned.
Yeah. Have you? Yeah, that's true. But have you seen those videos that you'll see on social media and they're like the malls in 1989 or 1993 and it's like packed. People are like smoking in there and stuff and you've just got everyone. It was like the hangout. Like the food court was gigantic.
Actually, I know we're way off topic, but I was talking to my uncle the other day in Southdale Mall and he died.
Yeah.
It's now one of the malls.
I haven't been there for a while.
Oh, it's one of the leading malls in the country because they've changed the model of what they do.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's now one of the highest money-making malls in the country. And
that's good.
They've actually changed the way they cater to the retail shopper.
Okay. What have they done differently? I haven't been to Minnesota or to mall in Minnesota for a while, because usually when I come to Minnesota, I'm not heading towards the mall, but
I'm trying to remember what it is they've done, but they've changed it in subtle ways.
okay.
Yeah, it's more service-based. The shops are a little more non-traditional, but they've got it so it appeals more to the average retail shop.
That was smart. Huh.
So I'm impressed, and I'm trying to remember it's owned by a retail group from out of state, so
Yeah.
it's not locally owned anymore.
Okay.
Same with Mall of America. I mean, those developers are. It used to be there's a Canadian developer that owned Mall of America. I'm not sure.
Right.
Mall of America is having a problem with maintaining clients or leasers or leasees right now.
Is it because they charge too much?
Yeah. Yeah. The rent is incredibly high right now.
Oh.
In fact, they've sued 2 renters in the last 6 months because of high rent and those people wanting to get out of their lease. It's an interesting story. So. Okay, we'll move on here.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. The death clock, $39.99, small annual fee. It says here users can start their health assessment for free with temporary access to the full suite with features available in a 7-day free trial. Essentially, that's it for the death clock. You save for $39.99. It's not worth it for you for an annual fee.
Not for annual. I don't need to remind myself each year how when I'm gonna die.
I think the idea is it has more features to keep you updated throughout the year as to things you need to change.
Oh, well, I already know I need to change, but just because someone's telling me to doesn't mean I'm really going to.
You know what I saw today? I saw that Apple Watches now give you sleep apnea alerts.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know my watch tells me like the quality of sleep I'm having, but for the sleep apnea, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was completely interesting. The Apple Watch is giving you sleep apnea alerts, and I know the AirPods now are giving you, they're doubling. The new AirPods are doubling as over-the-counter hearing aids.
Oh.
Yeah, they're low grade. They're low grade.
Okay, right.
It's a low grade hearing aid. So not only will it help define music for you as you listen to it and define voice as you listen to it from your phone, but it has a double use as a hearing aid, over-the-counter hearing aid.
What if you're sneaky and you put them in so you can hear other people's conversations, like at the next table over, and they just think you're listening to music?
That's pretty sneaky.
See if they're talking about you.
I don't think it works that well. I don't think they're like I Spy type AirPods where you can hear 4 buildings over. Although that would be really cool for as much as they cost. They should really should do that.
They just think you're listening to music. Meanwhile, they're talking about like, she shouldn't be wearing those leggings. Excuse me.
What did you say?
As I'm getting my coffee. What?
What? How dare you talk about me like that?
You're like, damn, she has superpower hearing.
Oh my God. Can you taste food really well too? You're a superhuman. Speaking of superhuman, do you watch Stranger Things?
I do.
Oh, turns out that one of the stars of Stranger Things had a paranormal encounter on the movie set, on a movie set, I should say. I'll clarify that. The actor who plays one of the show's main characters encountered a potential real-life ghost in an old mansion.
Ooh.
Yeah. Finn Wolfhard.
I don't know how to say his last name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yes. Who played the role of Mike Wheeler in Netflix's hit Stranger Things since 2016, is certainly no stranger to acting in movies with supernatural elements. Not only did he play a major role in the 2 latest Ghostbusters movies, I know now, but he also starred as one of the main characters in the recent 2-part adaptation of Stephen King's It. it was during filming of the latter that the 21-year-old would have his own real-life paranormal encounter. He said, "There was a time when I was a kid shooting it." Isn't that cute? I mean, it wasn't that long ago. In this abandoned mansion in Toronto, and me and a bunch of the other cast were exploring the floors, he told People magazine during a recent interview. We went up to the top floor, and there was one room where there was a guy in black, and we saw him just kind of doing electrician work. And we were like, okay, that's just a crew member. But then later we found out there was no one who was, we found that no one knew who that was. It's an odd, okay, sentence. Let me try this again. He said, but then later we found out that no one knew who that was and no one ever saw him again. It could have been someone just messing around, but yeah, it was pretty scary, he went on to say. Wolfhard will return to our screens in the final season of Stranger Things in 2025. Yeah, so there you go. Interesting. All right, Mallie, we brought up the question earlier. We're going to answer it now. Why do ghosts wear clothes or sheets instead of appearing in the nude? I think it's a decent enough question to address just for a
right.
There's someone named Shane McCorstein who answers the question. When you think of a ghost, what comes to mind? A ghastly, moldy, winding sheet, a malevolent pile of supernatural armor, or a sinister gentleman in a stiff Victorian suit? 1863, George Cruikshank, the caricaturist and illustrator of Dickens's novels, announced a discovery concerning the varied appearances of ghosts. It does not seem, he wrote, and this is what he wrote, the quote is, that anyone he ever thought of the gross absurdity and impossibility of these being such things as ghosts of wearing apparel, ghosts cannot, must not, dare not, for decency's sake, appear without clothes. And as there can be no such thing as ghosts or spirits of clothes, why then it appears that ghosts never did appear and never can appear. Okay. What? It's Victorian speak. In other words, why do they appear in clothing when clothing is not ghostly? It's not alive. Right. So he asked the question, why aren't ghosts naked? This was a key philosophical question for Cruikshank and many others in Victorian Britain. Instead, stories of naked and clothesless ghosts, especially outside folklore, are exceedingly rare. Skeptics and ghost seers alike have delighted in thinking about how exactly ghosts could have form and force in the material world. Just what kind of stuff could they be made of that allows them to share our plane of existence in all its mundanity? Well, that's a good word, mundanity. The image of the ghost as a figure in a white winding sheet or burial shroud has retained its iconic status for hundreds of years because it suggests a continuity between the corpse and the spirit. The main social role of the ghost before the modern period was to carry a message to the living from beyond the grave. So the link to burial clothing makes sense. This can be seen in the medieval trope of the three living and the three dead, whereby some hunters encounter their future skeletal corpses wrapped in linen, admonishing them to remember death. Yet by the mid-19th century, with spiritualism and early forms of psychical research spreading across the Western world, people began to report seeing ghosts dressed in everyday and contemporaneous clothing. This raised problems for those interested in investigating the reality of ghosts. If the ghost was an objective reality, why would it be wearing clothes? Or why should it be wearing clothes? If the tenets of spiritualism were true, should the soul which has returned to visit the earth not be formed of light or some other form of ethereal substance? Were the clothes of spirits also spiritual? And if so, did they share in their essence, or were they the ghosts of clothes in their own right? think we're thinking way too hard about this.
Yeah. And what about those people that say they have sex with ghosts? Are they doing it with their shoes on? I mean, I don't you know what I mean? They gotta be naked. Are you okay?
Or slippers.
Yeah, slippers. They're keeping their black socks on. Sexy.
They're keeping their socks on. Black socks pulled up to the knees.
Yeah.
Sexy. You gotta have some modesty, right?
Yeah. So I'm just wondering. I mean, at one point they get naked.
Keeping their shoes on.
I'm just saying.
Someone's got to have
We should have one of those people on that are always like in, was it the Sun or the Mirror or whatever, that always has the stories about the people that claim they had sex with the ghosts, and be like, okay, so was this ghost fully dressed or was it just one-sided? What was it?
You know what?
That'd be our topic for a show.
I have a psychic coming on in November. I'm asking her. She claims to be a high power psychic. I'm asking her.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Question is coming out. We're going to have the ghost sex talk.
Yes.
And what exactly they wear and why they wear it. And by God, why they're not naked all the time.
Yep.
And when there's ghost fucking going on, I'm just
getting... True language.
I'm getting worried about it.
Someone's getting passionate.
That's right. I don't know. Just saying. Is there ghost lingerie? Is there foreplay?
Okay, now you're going to start getting really kinky. It's getting uncomfortable.
Sorry. Well, I mean, we've got to ask the questions, right, Mallie?
Right. The heavy hitting questions. Yes.
We're here in a journalistic.
Yeah. Role. That's what you want to call it.
Right. We're here to ask the questions and get
more like sophomoric, but okay.
Oh, no. I am here in a serious journalistic role.
Okay.
I'm here to get down to the bottom of things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just need to know. Right. And and if it is there one particular company that provides the lingerie for ghosts?
Jeez.
Is it Victoria's Secret? And if so, do they make the bigger sizes for the bigger ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Do they discriminate on the other side? I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know, Mallie.
You're going to get an email. I listened to your last show and I would like to kindly withdraw from my presence on your next episode.
Tim, not coming in. Sorry.
Yeah.
As far as this clothes or no clothes thing, there was another explanation that ghost seers dress the ghost automatically, though unconscious or through unconscious processes. And so we see a ghost in its usual dress because that's a mental picture we have of the person. And this choice of garment most likely inspires recognition.
Okay.
So you automatically dress the ghost with your eye.
Or undress the ghost with my eyes.
That's a decent theory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that. Sure. It's kind of a lengthy article, but we can leave it there. They just, one last thing, they say the issue of ghost clothes is interesting for historians of the supernatural because like a loose thread, get it? Pulling at it starts to unravel some of the assumptions about the matter in spiritualism. Do ghosts retain the injuries or disabilities that befell them in life? And what about the erotic fleshiness of spirits? The touching and kissing between the living and the dead in the seance room where the ectoplasm gauze-like spiritual substance photographed emerging from the orifices of mediums. Could the living even have sexual intercourse with ghosts? That's the big question here. These kinds of naughty debates, as in a knot in a tree, have not disappeared in the 21st century. Indeed, spectrophilia or love of ghosts is a fetish that is a lively topic on debate on the internet today. Another turn of the screw in the long history of how spirits matter in the world of the living. an interesting article. But the ghost clothes thing is, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. If I'm a ghost and I'm wandering around the earth, I'm not showing up buck naked. It's not happening.
Right.
I think every ghost is probably going to be someone. Right.
Yeah. I'd come back and haunt like in my 37-year-old body. That was a good year.
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm coming back, I'm coming back in my 22-year-old body.
Right.
Really good year. I had hair then too.
Ooh. Not the kind that was flapping when you tell that one story.
No, not the
yeah. For the glue.
No, not the rash head. No. No, it was Dave.
Sorry, I bring up the past pain.
Dave had the dead dog on his head. It wasn't.
I thought both of you guys had it like the glue like dripping down.
No. He had the glue dripping down and the dead dog on his head.
Okay.
He would sit there and he'd try to brush and it would get stuck. He didn't know how to really take good care of it. Mine looked like Richard Marx. It was like I had the bouffant.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, mine. I looked like a movie star, baby. I'm gonna try and find I had a Valley Fair ID with that. I'm gonna try and find it and show you the picture. You'd be like, oh. Yeah, because it was like I swooped. I mean, it was brilliant.
Nice.
I had hard rock metal hair. It was long in the back. In fact,
nice.
The only reason I like going to that place was the owner's daughter was hot. Oh my God, she was hot. She used to look at my hairpiece and she'd say, "Oh my God, this is the most well-maintained hairpiece I've ever seen." Like, and her name was Bobby, and I was like, "You know it, Bobby." I thought it was, and I'm like, God, there's no way I'm ever scoring with this girl. But I'm like, yeah, girl, yeah.
Did you work at Valley Fair, or was it for your summer pass?
No, we had season pass.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're young and dumb, you think a season pass Valley Fair is really cool. I don't know what for. You just go there and ride the rides, and you're in your early 20s. What? What are you going to pick up at Valley Fair when you're in your early 20s besides a bad back? Nothing. Oh, Mallie, the stupidness of youth.
It was grand.
But it was grand, right? But I got on those big roller coasters, and mine was like this.
Yeah.
Right. And it didn't move because I had sprayed down, and it was Richard Marx hair, and I was singing, "Should have known better." Flying around on the roller coaster.
It's like when you watch those movies and they're in a convertible and no one's hair is moving.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's like that with you on the roller coaster.
His helmet hair, right? Meanwhile, Dave's on there and there's a dog doing this.
It's like those blow up things that are always outside of car dealerships where it's just like swaying and
yeah, it was
yeah. I forget what those things are called.
Yeah, the little bendy figures.
Yeah, that was his toupee.
Inflatable bendy figure. Yeah, it was going back and forth in advertising. There was a sale on the top of his head. Fun.
Those were the days.
Good times. Yep. Okay, next story.
Yeah.
A psychic was looking for a psychic was looking for. I'm still stuck on the dog on the head. A psychic looking for a man's missing daughter found human remains.
Oh.
The psychic discovered the skeletal remains of a person behind a bowling alley, but there was a twist in store. There's a great deal of controversy surrounding the idea that psychics can be used to locate missing people. with one side of the fence arguing that they may have a genuine role to play in investigations and the other insisting that psychic abilities don't actually exist. Sometimes, though, psychics actually do find the unfindable, as was the case recently when a psychic who had been tasked with locating a missing man's daughter actually found human remains behind a bowling alley roughly 70 miles from Portland, Maine. 17-year-old Kim Moreau disappeared without a trace all the way back in 1986, and her father, Richard Dick Moreau, had hoped that a psychic might be able to determine her whereabouts. During the session, however, the psychic found something that neither of them had expected. The psychic had a very strong feeling that there was something up there, Moreau told WMUR, but she wasn't sure what it was. Then in about 10 minutes, she turned around, she came down and said, "Dick, you've got to get up here now." Incredibly, she had found human bones just a block or so away from the family's home. In an excruciating twist, however, when police came to retrieve the bones, it was determined that they belonged to a male, meaning that it wasn't Moreau's long lost daughter. It's a disappointment in some ways, he said, but we got to remember and look at it from our point of view. We're one of the families that has a missing loved one. We have a family that's going to get closure now. No, so it wasn't us, but one of these times it's got to be. So there you go. They ended up finding a body. It just wasn't
right
one that they were looking for.
Oh.
So they ended up helping in one way.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. In kind of a weird, awkward story now.
Okay.
Scientists have revived pig brains an hour after death with an experimental method.
Ew.
We're going to talk about whether you should be revived after death. By keeping the livers of Tibetan mini pigs functionally alive, researchers were able to extend the window of brain resuscitation this past month. Scientists in China have pulled off a remarkable feat worthy of Victor Frankenstein, reviving pig brains up to 50 minutes after a complete loss of blood circulation. The macabre accomplishment and someday lead to advances in keeping people's brains intact and healthy for longer while resuscitating them. Nowadays, we can often revive people whose hearts have stopped. The formal term for this is cardiac arrest, but just or after just a few minutes of no blood flow. Vital organs like the brain are damaged beyond repair. That means that doctors only have a short time or a window to bring someone back without them experiencing, at a minimum, major neurological complications. In this research published last month in the journal EMBO Molecular Medicine, the scientists sought to extend that window. How far do you extend it? Well, that's the question.
Right.
Past studies have suggested that liver function played a key role in how well the rest of the body does during a cardiac arrest. People with pre-existing liver disease, for instance, seem to have a higher risk of dying from cardiac arrest. So the researchers, based primarily in Sun Yat-sen University, decided to test whether keeping the livers of Tibetan mini pigs functionally alive would have a positive effect on their brain's survivability after resuscitation. All of the pigs had blood flow to their brain stopped, but some were hooked up to a life support system that kept their liver's circulation going. The scientists then tried to revive the pig's brain after a certain period of time using the same life support system. Afterward, the pig was euthanized and compared to a control group of pigs that had their blood flow left alone. Now, when the pigs had blood flow to both organs shut down, their brains were substantially more damaged following resuscitation, the researchers found. But the brains of the pigs that had their livers supported tend to fare much better. Interesting. with fewer signs of injury and a restoration of electrical activity that lasted up to 6 hours. The researchers were also able to restore activity in these pigs with up to 50 minutes after blood flow to the brain had stopped. Weird. Our study highlights the crucial role of the liver in the pathogenesis of post-cardiac arrest or brain injury, the researchers wrote. Of course, this doesn't mean that scientists can now return anyone back from the dead perfectly intact and with just a little boost to their liver. There are many damaging bodily changes that occur soon after a cardiac arrest, not just those in the brain and liver. And certainly more research will have to be done to confirm the team's conclusions that the liver is critical to restored brain function. But if this works, or if this work does not continue to pay off, it could someday lead to practical interventions that help improve the odds of successfully resuscitating people. The insights gained from the current and future studies have the potential to enhance survival and improve outcomes for patients who are experiencing cardiac arrest, said researcher. I don't know what to think as I read the story, Mallie. It's it depends on what your belief system is. If you're a complete atheist or agnostic, I think you think, well, there's a second chance, right? You could be brought back. If you believe anything else, wouldn't you like to think your soul has left your body by then?
Right.
And if your soul is... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, because if they bring you back, what if you're not the same? What if your quality of life, if you're brought back, what if it's worse?
My thought is this. Even though it's only 50 minutes and you've brought yourself back to life, what if that's not your soul? What if something has walked in?
Ooh.
You know?
Like it's waiting by your bedside for you to leave and then take over?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, what if that's
creepy?
Yeah, what if you've hollowed out that shell? You've sent, let's say it's me, all right? Say you've sent Tim to the great beyond. That was my time to go. And I went.
Right.
You've put Beelzebub in Tim's shell, and you created a whole new different problem. Or you've put a lower level demon or a higher level bully in Tim's shell and said, well, you're fine. We brought you back.
Right.
Whoever's in Tim's shell goes, boy, you know what? You sure did. What do you do?
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. There you go. It's your next screenplay or your book to write over the winter time.
Well, yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just like waiting for you in the hospital. What if all hospital rooms had those creepy creatures just waiting for you to leave to take over? Ugh.
But then how do you bring back, okay, so if something walks in, how do you bring back the original soul?
I think if you've already crossed over and your body or what you look at as a shell is already filled up, you can't get back in. That's why I will never try an outer body experience, because I'm afraid something's going to walk in and I'll come back from after doing my little voyage and I'd be like, why is my body occupied by someone else?
Right. Yeah. Well, and speaking as someone who's gone out of body, not purposely, but has done it. Yeah. It's scary as hell. Yeah. You're scared the entire time. But I don't know how I got back in. But I got back in. Yeah. I don't know, Mel. It is a scary proposition, but just the thought of, okay, you've managed to bring back the body, but did you bring it back?
Right.
It's humans messing with natural processes. Just go, you know what? No. You know, I don't care.
Sometimes advanced science is not a good thing.
Right. I don't care how much we miss somebody. I can't think that's a good thing. Our next story has to do with an entrance to the underworld discovered beneath a church in Mexico. The ruins of an ancient city in southern Mexico have yielded evidence of long-lost underground tunnels. Known as a place of the dead, the city of Mitla, built by the ancient Zapotec civilization, was said to be situated atop a labyrinth of underground tunnels and caverns known as the entrance to the underworld. The precise location of these tunnels would go on to be lost to time when the city was raised by the Spanish in the 16th century, and new structures were built atop the ruins. For years, archaeologists attempted to find these mysterious sub-channels or subterranean tunnels, but to no avail. Now, though, thanks to the advent of electrical let me do this again. Now, though, thanks to the advent of electrical I can't say the word, resistivity. Is that it?
Sure.
Resistivity tonography. I can get that one, or ERT. Researchers believe that they may have finally located evidence of the Zapotec's enigmatic back door to hell. Now, I've seen that movie. That was in the back.
I thought you were going to say you've just seen it, like the back door to hell.
Back door to hell. That's in the back of the video section there. Back at the Blockbuster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, right. Yeah. You had to show an ID.
Yep.
I used to show my Valley Fair card because that had such a great picture.
Yeah, with your hand.
Yeah. Here, look at this.
You just use it for everywhere. They're like, sir, we didn't ask for your ID. Yeah. I know, but isn't it great?
Yeah, look at my face. Look at my hair in this. By the way, can I get backdoor to hell for 3 or 4 days?
You use it as your profile photo if you get on some dating site. And you meet up at like Chili's or something, like, that's not what I signed up for.
Tell you what, if I can find that ID, I'm gonna make it my profile picture on Facebook.
There you go.
I'm gonna put it up as my profile pic on Facebook. Just to see if anybody recognizes.
Yeah.
To find it, by the way, they scanned multiple groups of ruins for signs of the back door to hell. Normally, to find the back door to hell, it's a little more involved. To find this one, though, they scanned multiple groups of ruins for signs of subterranean cavities. Some of the tunnels and chambers extended to a considerable depth, in excess of 15 meters, said Marco Vigato, founder of the ARX or ARX project, which is heading up the search. In the case of the South group, they're up to 30 meters deep. This is as far as the instruments can penetrate. One chamber under the Church of the San Pablo Apostol measures approximately 15 meters long by 10 meters wide. It is possible that the tunnels, particularly those under the church group, extend further to the north, east, and south. Possibly they connect to the other geophysical anomalies identified under the other groups. What's particularly exciting is that these tunnels may also contain the burial chambers of the ancient Zapotec, I believe it's Zapotec kings and other prominent figures of the Zapotec society. Whether the treasures were likely buried with, whether the treasures they were likely buried with are still there remains, however, to be seen. So there you go. Because you want your treasures buried in your back door. I'm just saying, right? All right. A couple of Bigfoot stories for you as we're starting to close up shop here today. Actually, 3 of them. Because we got that one in Kentucky to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah. A political candidate wants to make Bigfoot the state animal of Idaho. think Bigfoot's a big potato fan? Just wonder if that's what Bigfoot's, like surviving on.
Bunch of starch, like the rest of us.
Oh yeah, likes a good baked potato. Throws it in the microwave. Just hits the potato setting. I've discovered the potato setting on the microwave. By the way, it's a great setting. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's new to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you fry up a little steak on the Ninja Grill. You hit the potato button on the microwave. I'm an idiot, but I love it.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Challenger in the upcoming battle of Idaho's District 16 state representative seat is pushing a rather unusual policy. Enticing the electorate to vote for you is usually a case of outlining what improvements you're looking to make, what your political policies are, and how you are a better candidate than your opponent. For Republican challenger Chandler Stewart Hadraba, however, there is one particular issue in mind that you would seem to be rather low on most people's priority lists. Not for Hadraba, however. He's running against incumbent Democratic candidate Sonia Galaviz in the race for Idaho's District 16 state representative seat, and wants to make the state the country's top destination for Bigfoot tourism. What is the top state for Bigfoot tourism?
I would think like Pennsylvania, maybe.
Maybe Pennsylvania or Alaska, one or the other.
Right. Oregon. I don't know.
I really want to make Idaho #1 for Bigfoot tourism, he said. I think this is a creative way to have our rural communities and remote areas benefit more from tourism in such a great state. Hadraba even wants to take things a step further, making Bigfoot the official state animal of Idaho, not Ohio, but Idaho. And by introducing tags allowing the cryptozoological bipeds to be legally hunted. He had me until that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of this, he argues, will bring more tourism revenue to rural parts of the state. While this is certainly a unique approach, it's unclear whether or not such a policy will sway voters. I don't know if you're a voter in Idaho, Mallie. Do you vote for hunting Bigfoot?
I don't know.
I can't see it. I really can't. I mean, okay, the tourism thing is one thing, right?
Right. I understand that.
But, let's go shoot Bigfoot. I don't know that that's a thing you run on. All right, we're going to get into this thing they call the big white thing.
Okay.
And so have you ever been near Burkesville, Kentucky?
I don't think so.
In Cumberland County?
Well, I've been to Cumberland area, like the falls and stuff, Cumberland Falls. Okay. But I don't know if that's in the vicinity of Cumberland County.
Okay. Well, let's paint the picture for you, and you can see this comes from WDKY. I'm sorry, in Lexington. Big white fangs is what they call them. The Haintin Holler Cryptid was seen near a Kentucky highway. We go to Burkesville, Kentucky, where this little stretch in Kentucky could be one of the scariest places in America. The hotbed of paranormal activity is said to be located on Kentucky Highway 3115 or 3115, just past Gray Gap Road in Cumberland County. Called the Haintin Holler by the locals, the stretch of road is home to numerous scary sightings, from a headless horseman to big white fangs. That's in quotes. Big white fangs. I got a couple of big white fangs in my According to Haunted History of Kentucky, a haint is like a taint with an H. I gotta say, that's how it's spelled, anyways.
Right.
A haint is an old Southern word for a specific type of ghost or evil spirit found in stories from all over the South. The white fangs are said to look like an albino Bigfoot. Specific details vary from person to person. HHK noted how some witnesses claimed that white things walked on all fours, climbed trees, and waited to pounce on unsuspecting victims below. Other accounts suggest that the creature would walk on two legs and have a haunting scream. That sounds lovely. My kind of cryptid. Despite earlier stories, HHK said that most claim that the white thing is not dangerous, but its screams still frighten those who hear them. They are said to range from the sound of a woman or a baby crying to sounding more like a partner. What partner screams like that?
I know, right?
At random. It's not a partner I'd want to be with for very long.
Yeah. You go deaf.
Yeah, right. Eyewitness accounts claim that the white things stand between 8 to 9 feet tall. Some claim that the creatures have no eyes and no ears, that according to HHK. Others have said that white things resemble a bear with the head of a lion and red eyes. Okay, that in itself is a little creepy. It's said that the temperature drops 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit while inside the Haintin Holler, but temperatures are normal everywhere else. With that, it says, Happy Halloween. Haintin Holler sound like a place you want to be?
I don't think so.
No, not after.
I mean, I do love the state of Kentucky, but I don't think I want to run into Haintin Holler.
No, not me either. I think I'm good. Got another place that probably isn't somewhere you want to end up. Turns out it's a quote unquote friendly little zoo.
Okay.
The zoo, meanwhile, is asking for help identifying a mystery creature with wings and horns. We go to the Bristol Zoo. Bristol Zoo Project recently captured a trail camera image of a strange creature with some unusual features. When an animal is so strange that even a zoo has trouble figuring out what it is, you know you're onto something unusual, unless, that is, it has been posted up as a challenge tongue-in-cheek to the Halloween season. Which of these two possibilities is most likely, we'll leave up to you, of course. The photograph, which was posted up yesterday on the Facebook page of the Bristol Zoo, Connecticut, shows a peculiar mammal that seems to have horns on its head and a set of wings on its back. Have you seen the recent news about a mysterious winged and horned creature being spotted at the Bristol Zoo Project? Team member wrote, our conservation team uses camera traps to survey the ancient woodland on our site. Here you can see a familiar muntjac deer alongside a creature that has us just a little stumped. So what exactly could this animal be? In all likelihood, the wings are actually a photographic anomaly, meaning that the mysterious creature is also likely a muntjac deer, common species found in the region. Nonetheless, the image has certainly garnered a lot of attention over the last few days. So here, Mallie, with that, I will show you a picture here. See, to me, okay, I know what I think this is. I'll show you the black and white. Here's the black and white.
Okay.
What do you think that is?
Looks. I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Not sure?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What do you think it is?
Okay. Now that I see it, I honest to God think it is. I think it's a doe, a baby deer.
Okay, I was thinking a baby deer.
And the thing on its back isn't. I don't think is anything on its back at all. I think.
Do you think it's movement?
No, I think it's another head. I think it's honestly, it's a conjoined twin.
Oh.
You look, that looks like another set of ears.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like maybe it was a failed twin in the womb. like the ears in the head were grown into the spine somehow.
Yeah. Poor dear.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and let me see if there's a better picture, like a daylight picture of this thing, because they have a trail cam. When you see just the side profile, you don't see horns, do you?
Right. No, not at all.
So I'm convinced that that's what that is. Those aren't horns at all.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we'll post this in the description of the program as well, so you can take a look at this creature with supposed horns. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. All right. Final story today, Mal. Also has to do with a creature that we didn't invite to our Halloween party. I don't know. You have big plans for Halloween? I know we kind of talked about this before.
Right. Just passing out candy and stuff like that. Just enjoying the day. Trying to take it all in.
It's supposed to be a little chilly here, but I like watching the kids come up and trick or treat. I participated this past weekend in a trick or treat, or actually it was a trunk or treat.
Okay.
Event over in Coon Rapids over at a mall.
Okay.
Is it Coon Rapids Square Mall? I don't remember which it was. And it was right after the Anoka Halloween parade let out.
Oh, okay.
So there were a couple thousand kids there. Needless to say, none of the trunk or treaters were prepared to have that many kids there.
Right. So you guys ran out of candy?
Multiple times. What's nice is that the organizer kept bringing in candy for everybody.
Oh, nice.
But we went through bag after bag after bag after bag. And eventually it was supposed to go from like 2 to 6. They had to shut down at 4:45.
Gotcha.
Because there was just no more candy in the area.
Right.
Which is too bad because, kids show up and they want to go trunk or treating, right?
Right.
That's the only thing I think that could ruin your Halloween. Is just running out of candy for these poor kids.
Yeah.
But they're having a blast. And some of the costumes are just amazing. Really, they're just amazing costumes. That's my favorite part of Halloween, just seeing the kids having fun.
Yeah.
The different costumes. And boy, the kids were so polite this year, too. They really were.
Good.
Yeah, they were just so polite and so nice. That was a huge part of it. Well, one kid wasn't so nice when it came to Halloween decorations at one house.
Oh, there's always the one.
That's right. We go to North Carolina, where a woman's doorbell camera captured video of a trio of black bear cubs making a meal out of her family's Halloween pumpkins and Amazon packages. The video shows what unfolded when the 3 young Bruins approached Aaron Chester's front door in Asheville. It's not like they haven't had problems up there either. Yeah, now a double whammy.
Yeah.
The bears tore through Chester's Amazon packages before turning their attention to the pumpkins placed on the stoop as Halloween decorations. This is why I won't use real pumpkins anymore. Yeah. 2 of the bears wrestle for ownership of a pumpkin, while the third bear enjoys another gourd by itself. The video ends with one of the bears carrying the remaining pumpkin away as a to-go snack.
That's cute.
Oh. What happens if they're lit and they eat the lit candle? Bears have been known in the past to go for food or go looking for food on front porches. A hungry bear was famously caught on camera last year stealing a Taco Bell delivery from the front door of an Orlando, Florida home. We covered that one, if I remember right.
I remember seeing the photo.
Yeah.
Or the little video thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I tell you what, the video of this is too funny. So we'll post this one as well. We got quite a bit to post in today's show up on the description of the website or description of the show. So you got a few videos to watch today. So you can rifle through those and see some videos here. All right. With that, Mallie, what's new on paranormalgirl.com?
Just check it out. I've got some stories. I'm going to write about the Lyndhurst mansion that I went to when I was in Sleepy Hollow area. And yeah, just kind of enjoy the season, the Halloween season. So,
right.
Yep.
Let's see on this end. Trying to think. Look at that Halloween thing coming up on Thursday, tomorrow. Big day, really big day. What are we gonna do? Oh yeah, we got a Halloween show tomorrow. That's right. That's right. Christopher Jordan is in tomorrow. We're going to talk about the history of Halloween.
Very cool.
We're going to talk about some of the customs of Halloween. And we're going to talk about all kinds of things Halloween. It's a big show tomorrow. Huge show with Christopher Jordan.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we got some great Halloween. It's great Halloween listening as you're getting the kids ready to go trick-or-treating. So you can, I almost said so you can tie them up. That's what I meant. So you can get them cinched up in their costumes and get their extra layers on, especially if you're here in Minnesota, and get them cinched up and ready to go out and maybe scare them a little bit about where that tradition of putting them in costumes and going out and begging for candy came from, because you'll learn about that in tomorrow's show.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's lots of things you'll learn about in tomorrow's show as to where our customs come from. So that's all coming up tomorrow with Christopher Jordan. So looking forward to it. There you go. One more reminder, folks, as we leave you today, that you have until Sunday, November 3rd at midnight to enter into this contest to win 2 tickets to the Ghost Stories, Inc. Ghost Hunt up at the Palmer House in Sauk Center, Minnesota. This is the way you do it. You can enter by email. You email your name, your address, your phone number, and the phrase that pays. I want to ghost hunt with Tim and Jess. Do that by Sunday, November 3rd at midnight, and you'll be entered for a chance to win 2 tickets. Now, by the way, you do have to buy your hotel room for that time frame, November 14th and 17th. But you do get the 2 admission tickets to get into the event. I highly encourage you to do this. Highly encourage you to do this and get it in early. I know it's a busy week coming up. Busy week, Halloween, all this other stuff. But if you want to get in on this, it's going to be a wonderful trip. It's a 1920s themed trip. And the way that Ghost Stories Inc. does it, it's not just going up there and ghost hunting for a few days and then you're sitting down looking at the ceiling. It's nothing like that. It's a lot of good times, camaraderie. There's a theme to it, the 1920s theme to it. So make sure you bring either a flapper dress or you find a zoot suit. There's art projects and different things that they'll be doing up there, different workshops. It's an amazing time. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you come out and join us for it as well, November 14th through the 17th. Get your entry in now. Again, to Jessica at jessicafreeberg.com. That's who you're going to email, Jessica at jessicafreeberg.com, with your name, your address, your phone number, and the phrase that pays. I want to ghost hunt with Tim and Jess, or Jess and Tim, one of the other. Get it in right now. All right, so that's going to do it for today. We'll see you tomorrow for Christopher Jordan in the history of Halloween right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio.
For more audio and video archives of the show, informative articles, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. Thanks for watching. And wait until you see these little banana hammocks that Tim made the chipmunks. Dude, freaky, deaky, and squeaky.